as a mentor, have you thought about recording your mentor practices, your mentoring approach, the concepts you use in your membership? I ask that is because about a year or so ago, I did that. And I put it in a book called Mentoring Now. And these are the ways that I go about supporting the mentee. And I wanted to put them in the book as a reminder for myself, but also to share with others, those who are seasoned or new mentors. And it was today that I was online sharing a conversation with someone, and I just happened to pick up and pay attention to what was around me. And this is what it looks like, is that over here is one of the places I write pencil to paper, and then I have my whiteboard that I doodle on. I have other books that I have written. In front of me, obviously, is my computer. And this workspace is what I interact with to be able to collect these ideas, these reflections. And I said to myself, wouldn't it be great if I took a few minutes, not like story reading time or something like that, but more just to highlight something that comes out of my book and just to share it with you. And what I decided to do is just very quickly is go over chapter 2. And I'm just going to put my glasses on so I can read. And chapter 2 is distinguished between noise and news. And this one is really sets us up for understanding about how to discern the surrounding noise. And noise in this case are the issues that might come forward. And I have an acronym called STEEP: social, cultural, technological, environmental, economical, and political or regulatory. And these are the places from which this change comes at me, and then I transition because of that change. And what happens is that change and transition sets up issues and initiatives. And I thought that I would share that with you is because in there often is that noise, things that get in the way. We sometimes talk about them as problems. So there is something called problem inquiry. And being who I am, I tend to always go, okay, well, there's two ends of the stick. So what would happen is if I locate the sources of the news, NEWSS, and it's about the north, east, west, south. In other words, pulling from the directions of all around. From a safety perspective, what is the news that I can tap into? What are things that are happening that help me, that I can appreciate? And thus, I can use something like appreciative inquiry to take a look at it and ask that question, well, why is it helping? Why is that helping? Why? And if you've ever done problem inquiry and appreciative inquiry, you'll understand what I'm sharing with you. And if you haven't, I would encourage you to look at both of them. And I've written an article about humble inquiry, which I put on my blog, and I'll put a link to it if you want to follow up. I sort of think of humble inquiry as taking problem and appreciation and finding a way to be humble, this notion of humility, working with both of those, but more from its own inquiry perspective, this notion of humility, of asking the questions. So what I'd also like to share with you is curate the ideas, insights, interpretations, investigations, and invocations from near and far. So again, I'm playing with some I words here. So the ideas are sort of inside out, the insights are outside in. The interpretations would be, what do I interpret from my ideas, insights that I might put into play? What are the investigations, the research that I'm doing? And the invocations is sort of the celebrative concepts and practices that come to me, and I'm proud of them, and I can celebrate other friends that I'm interacting with and what they have done that has been of great use to them as well. The next one is, and this is number 4 of 5 of them, implement the continuum of connect, consider, converse, conclude, and complete. When you enter into the mentoring with your mentee, there is the initial connection. You connect, find ways in which to go, okay, this is the path that we're going to take. Then you start into conversing with one another, the conversation. That sets up how you consider what takes place between the connect and the conversation. You consider what's going on there. That takes you to the completion, but to get to that completion of, yes, we've made sense of our conversation, you have to conclude out of that conversation to completion things that will be used, so that when you do fulfill the completion, you know you have the steps or the practices or the thoughts and feelings to go with it. So again, it's connect, consider, converse, conclude, and complete. The last one I would just share with you is the following. Make sure that you practice setup, step forward, stay found, shine light, and share wisdom. Now, the idea here is to set it up, set up the stage, get things ready. To step forward, maybe it's stride forward, you a little bit more oomph in that step. The stay found is to make sure that you are present and what's unfolding for you. The shine light is just to make sure that you light your path. That might be lighten your load. You may have to say goodbye to something as you're moving forward. And to share wisdom is your willingness to educate what you love to learn. And through mentoring and the mentee learning and you learning as a mentor, why not share that wisdom with others? And so those 5 elements of discern the surrounding noise, locate sources of news applicable for you, curate ideas, insights, interpretations, investigations, and invocations from near and far, implement the continuum of connect, consider, converse, conclude, complete, and practice the setup, step forward, stay found, shine light, and share wisdom. So that's chapter number 2 out of the book, Mentoring Now. I thought that I would share it with you as a little bit of a gift here. And if you'd like to find out more about the book, you can go to wealthmovement.com/store. The book is listed in the store. If you have questions about it, you can use the contact form that's available on the website as well, just wealthmovement.com/contact. And wherever you see this video, there's probably a place where you can add your comments. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, and please share. It would be great if this got out and about. So with that, I'm going to call that a close. Again, this was all done because I wanted to ask you, are you reflecting and recording on your mentor practices, your mentoring approach, the concepts and practices of mentorship that you're putting into play? I happen to write a book. Maybe there's another way for you. Shoot videos. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to do blog posts, whatever it might be. But I would encourage you to share your practices. We can all benefit from each other, and that's why I did this one today. So with that, take care.